Hello and welcome to this tutorial on trend analysis. We are going to use two methods to calculate trend manually. This is method 1 and method 2. Method 1 is nothing but modification of method 2. It is all dependent on the value of x. If the value of x is equals to 0, then we will use method number 1. If the value of x is not equals to 0, we will use the method number 2. Here, summation of y is equals to n a plus b multiplied by summation of x square. Alright, now since x equals to 0, therefore we have summation of y is equals n a plus b, which equals to 0 multiplied by summation of x. Alright, so here we have 0 for the value of summation of x. Now we have summation of y is equals n a. Alright, now the value of the a or the intercept will be is equals summation of y divided by number of observation, that is n. Alright, so the method 2 is same as number 1. The only difference is the value of x. When the x is equals to 0, then we use the method 1. When x is not equals to 0, we use method number 2. To find the value of b, we will use the formula as b is equals n summation of xy minus summation of x multiplied by summation of y divided by n summation of x square minus summation of x whole square. Alright, now b is equals to n summation of x and y minus 0 multiplied by summation of y, okay, divided by n summation of x square minus bracket summation of x whole square, which is equals to 0. So equals, where you see that 0 multiplied by summation of x will be 0 and a 0 whole square will be 0, and the n will cancel out each other. So what we left here is summation of x and y divided by summation of x square. Alright, now let's check this with the method 1. Alright, so which is same as the method 1. So we have derived this b value from method 2 when x is equals to 0, right? See, b is the value is same what we have derived from the method 2 when x is equals to 0. Alright, now let's apply these methods to the actual data sets. So here we have on the left screen, you can see is the year, the production, and the population in thousand and in metric tons. This data set is actually from 1967 to 2009, but we will be using only from 1967 to 1974. That is 8 years of data. So now we have the year from 1967 to 1974 and food production in million tons from 1967 to 1974. First thing you need to do is find a mid value of x. So here we have 8 number of observations, so it will be between number 4 and 5, that is 1970 and 71. So let's write it down. 1970 plus 1971 divided by 2. Right, so that equals 1970.5. That's easy, right? So 1970.5 is a mid value of x. Let me wipe it off. Now we can find it also through Excel function we call average 1970-71, which equals 1970.5, right? So this will be our mid value, which we found out through the Excel function average. All right, mid value. Let me write in the cell also. All right, type mid valua. Right, so now that we have found the mid value, now what we can do is find a new x. All right, so the new x will be, well, we can give the name x cap, right? So that will mean that this is our new x, which equals x minus 1970.5. So that will be our new x column. To show you manually, the value of x, new x, will be 1967 minus 197.5, right? That will be our new x. So the value will be minus 3.5. Now let's do it in Excel function. Is equals the value of x is 1967 minus 1970.5. okay, the mid value. Okay, that equals, let me put some dollar sign to make it constant throughout the column. Now minus 3.5, which we have found through the Excel function, that equals the value with which we calculated through the manually. Right, let me wipe it off. Now just drag it down. Whoa, that where you found all the values for that, but against all the years. Now let's find the value of x squared, right? And just put 2, go to format cell, subscript number 2. Okay, now to find the value x, to show you manually how we do it, just minus 3.5 multiplied by minus 3.5, right? So what will the value? We'll just see, right? So I have the question mark. Now in Excel function, which equals x, our new x, now to the power 2, right? That equals 12.25. Now drag it down. Now you have values of x squared against all the years, right? Let me wipe it off. Now what else we need? We can have a quick look at the equation. We have x and y, x squared, and our new x. So what we would like to have is x and y, right? So you calculate the value of x and y by multiplying the value of x with the value of y, that is the food production. All right, now to show you again manually how we do it is simply multiply the value of new value of x, that is minus 3.5, multiplied by value of y, right? That is 95.05. all right, that equals, that we'll have in a while, right? So the value of x and y through Excel, just multiply the column with x value multiplied by y value, enter. There you got the value of x and y. All right, so it is minus 332.675, right? 675. So this is our value of x and y against 1967. All right, now you can simply drag it down to 1974 to calculate all the x and y against respective years. Let me first draw the outline of the table. All right, just go to the boxes and click the solid lines. There you go. Now that you have got some of the values for the equation, now let's try to add them up. Okay, now let's sum the values of y, x, and x squares, and also x and y. Let's sum it up. That equals, sum is equals to the number from 1967 to 1974, that equals 803.68. Now drag it down. So you can do it this way, or you can just make an auto sum. Okay, so you can do it both ways. You can just do it like this, auto sum. All right, in any way you are comfortable with. All right, now that we have calculated all the values, now just write it down. I'll just write it down here. All right, let me pick the pen and say summation of y that we have calculated is equals is 803.68. right? So that is, we have calculated Excel function. Now the value of x, right? So now value of x, the summation of x is equals 0. Okay, and then the value of summation of x square is equals, right, that 4,2. And finally we have the value for x and y, that is summation of x and y is equals 38.05. 38. Okay, just put me rounding up as 38. So these are the values that we are looking for the equation, right? So we can apply these values to both the methods, and we can check that whether these values are correct or whether they are wrong. All right, so let's calculate the value of a and b, that is the intercept and the slope of the regression or the trend line. We will check the value of a and b, that is intercept and slope, calculated both by manually and also through some Excel functions, okay, that we will see it later. Now let's begin with the value a is equals, okay, equal. Now we have a is equal to the summation of y divided by the number of observations. So you have summation of y, that is 803.68 divided by the number of observation that we have 8, right? Now enter. So that is the value for the intercept a, 100.46. Now value of b is equals that summation of x and y divided by summation of x square, right? So here we have equals summation of x and y divided by summation of x square, that equals 0.9. okay, so that is the value of a and b that we have calculated when x is equals to 0. Now we have the value of a and b, but whether this value of a and b that we have calculated by manual method is whether correct or whether it is wrong, that we will check a number of times by different ways. All right, now let's find out the value of a and b using the second method. Okay, now we have the slope equation and the intercept equation. First we'll find out the value of a, the intercept. All right, so a is equals to the mean of y minus b, that is slope, into the mean of x. Okay, so we will try to find out the value of a. So we have y bar is equals, that is the mean of the y's, right? Now again, x bar is equals mean of the x, right? Now since we have both x and y's, so we can calculate the mean. We can calculate the mean by using the Excel function average. All right, average, then the mean of x, which equals 0. Right, now we have to calculate the mean of y's. Before that, let me just give the symbol bar on x bar. That will mean that this is mean value for x. Now y can go to symbols and bar, then we have the y mean is equals the average of y's, okay, the food productions. Then hit enter. Whoa, there you have the value for the mean of y's, 100.46. Now that we have the values for x and y's, so we can put it in the equation of intercept a is equals to y bar y mean minus b into x mean, which equals 100.5 or 46 minus b, that v multiplied by the value of x mean, which equals 0. Alright, the value for x mean is equals 0, so that minus bx will be a 0. That equals 100.466. Right, so that will be value for the intercept a. Okay, so far so good. Now let me wipe it off. Let's say now to calculate the intercept that we have already calculated, just let me put the values for y mean minus b into x. Since b value we haven't calculated yet, so let me just put it as it is. Okay, so minus bx, x value is 0, so we will just wipe it off and just keep it to y only. Okay, now let's just calculate the value for slope b. There we have the formula for the slope. Okay, so let me just write it down for you. B is equals n summation of x and y minus summation of x. So since summation of x, the value is 0, okay, so we'll just put the value 0 multiplied by summation of y. Okay, multiply. Now we can divide the number by n summation of x square minus, since summation of x is equals 0, so simply we can write 0 here, right? So minus whole square 0 to the power whole square, right? So there we have cancel 0 0, that will be an n, the number of observation n will be cancelled out. So what is remained is summation of x and y divided by summation of x square. Okay, so we have the x square value, okay, that equals summation of x and y. Now since all got cancelled out, now what remains is summation of x square, so we put the value divided by summation of x square, that is 42. That enter, so you get the value for b, the slope, which equals 0.9. Alright, so that is the same value that we have derived from the first method, and that is same what we have calculated from the second method. Let me just wipe it off again. Now you see the value are the same as calculated by two different ways of trend analysis, right? So these are the method 1 and method 2. So in order to check whether our values are correct, we can also use some automatic method which are inbuilt in Excel. So we can use some Excel functions. Alright, so in order to calculate the intercept A, Excel got a function that is equals intercept. Okay, simply click intercept and you assign x and y's. So the value for y is your food production, comma the value for x, that is your new x, right? Hit enter. Now you've got the value for the intercept, and the value for slope b is equals, simply write slope and the known y's and the new x. Okay, the new x column. I hit enter. Now you see the value that we have derived is for intercept a and b, that equals 100.46 and 0.9. Alright, so you see the values calculated by the automatic Excel functions is equals to the method which we have calculated through manually. Alright, so there are different other ways also in order to calculate the intercept and the slope. Alright, so Excel provides some functions which are in the tabs. Okay, so for this session we will use the Excel function that is provided in the data. Okay, let me select this data, go to the data tab, and they will find a tab data analysis. Now click on that, then you will find a number of methods there. Go to the regression, click OK, and insert the values for y's and x. Alright, so since we have the values for y's, food production, insert that. Values of x, new x, insert that, and you can select where you want the results. Right? So you can click the output range and click the cell where you want the results. So I will put it there and click OK. So there you go, you have the output from the regression model in Excel. So what we need is the coefficients here. So these are the values which are your intercept and the slope. Alright, so we can just write down here like A for intercept. So intercept is 100.46, that you can see in the coefficient 100.46, right? That will write it down here. So that equals 100.46. Now let me go to the v value. V equals, copy that value, okay, that x variable that is written there, v value, it's pasted. Okay. Now these are our values calculated through the data analysis tab in the Excel function. Now let's just check it out whether all the values are same or not. Okay, so the methods, first method is that we have calculated manually the first and the second method. So this is method 1, and this is the values from method 2. Okay, and this is what we have calculated using the slope and intercept function in Excel. So this we will name as method 3. Okay, and the final one is that we have calculated through regression model in the data analysis tab is method 4. So there you go, the values of x and y's, then values of intercept, values of slope, calculated by 4 different ways, okay, to find out the trend. So Basically the other two methods are means the automatic methods are used only to check or verify whether the values calculated by the manual methods are correct or wrong, right? So we have the similar values, so that means our calculations which we have done manually is correct. So that's it. Okay, I would like to say thank you for your patience in learning the trend analysis. Okay, so that's it for now. For the second part of this video, I'll upload it in 2 or 3 days later.